Well, thank you, Eddie. That was a great set, actually, and it's a big difference from when I last saw you back in Bristol in Fringe. You were on your own then, weren't you?
That's right, yeah.
So anyway,
big difference.
Well, let's go into a little bit of history here, because in the past, you actually came down from the northeast, didn't you?
Yes.
Now, I remember you were born in Alnwick in Northumberland. Now, I've been
right.
there. It's a cold, windy place.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, has that influenced you at all from your musical style? Because I'd be interested to know how you started, really.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's I suppose the thing about that is I listened to a lot of music. There wasn't much to do up in Alnwick in the middle of nowhere, so whenever there was bands playing, didn't matter what sort of band, I was into it. So big band up there is Lindisfarne, of course. So like folk music and stuff was always big.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the Fog on the Tyne.
Fog on the Tyne. And I used to play Northumbrian pipes when I started out. I still got them. But yeah.
Okay, but the guitar's your first love, though, is it?
Pretty much, because the music that I loved was nearly all guitar music. So yeah.
Okay. So you've come down. I don't know when you came from the northeast. Was it a long time ago? Or?
Well, I went further north first. I went up to Edinburgh for a few years. And there were some awesome bands up there, and of course there was the Fringe Festival. Yeah. You had all sorts of music there, so that was great. Yeah. But Newcastle was very much a rock city, so saw a lot of great rock bands and things.
Yeah, well, I did mention the fact that we got Sting and Brian Ferry.
Yeah.
Maximo Park, who you didn't know.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I've played them recently.
Yeah.
And the Animals, of course.
The Animals. Yeah. Although, to be honest, I don't think I saw the Animals, which is a bit criminal, isn't it? I saw a lot of prog rock and a lot of folk rock, singer-songwriter stuff. Yeah. So yeah.
So I mean, they must have influenced you a little bit, though. So Mark Knopfler, for example. I mean, did you listen to him much?
Mark Knopfler is awesome. Yeah, I saw them in one of their early concerts. They were supporting Lindisfarne, actually, who I mentioned before, and Chris Rea as well. The first time I saw Chris Rea, he didn't play guitar; he just sang. No. So yeah.
Very, very deep northeast gravelly voice, though, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But okay, so you've been influenced by a whole load of people, really. But
Sure.
You've ended up in Bristol. So how long were you in Bristol for, really, up to now?
Well, I mean, I've been here over 20 years now.
20 years,
I had sort of, I would call my dark ages, where I didn't actually listen to very much music. I don't think I even had a radio in my car for a while. But then came back to music with a bang, really, and started listening to the whole diverse scene in Bristol and things.
Well, you've been in several bands anyway before this, but now you've got a new band, and we've it's an interesting setup. You're a power trio, really, aren't you now?
Oh, thank you very much.
I think so.
I'm sure that the guys will be pleased with that.
So we've got Pete. Pete's also a songwriter by us, as well.
So's Adrian as well. It's just talented. He plays
brilliant.
Plays
Brilliant,
guitar.
Adrian.
We could, if only we could play drums, we could like swap round, but we can't really.
Yeah, well, you're multi-instrumentalists, all of you, then, basically.
Yeah,
almost, yeah, great. So Adrian, I just have a quick word with you then. So where did you start, in Bristol?
So I started, I don't know if you'll be able to hear me, but can they hear me? Sorry, borrow this for a second? Maybe?
Well, just speaking to it.
Okay, so I started drumming when I was 14, did all my grades, stopped playing music when I was 22, really then when I was about 30, 31, got into singing in musicals, which is a very random way of getting back into it, absolutely loved it, kind of pushed me into singing lessons, pushed me into working in studios, which then got me in touch with Eddie, doing some stuff in the same studio as him. Yeah. And from about June last year, we've got together, been able to play together, record, and it's been great fun. Yeah,
I was going to ask how you met, actually. So that's you for a start.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
There you go. Okay, so over the, I don't know if I can. Pete, if you tell you, yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. So Pete, where did you meet Eddie then?
Yeah, well, I was playing at a festival in Bristol about maybe seven or 8 years ago, and backstage, this guy was just about to go on stage after my band, which is a swing jazz band, and it was Eddie. We just met up, and he invited me to come along and do some recording, play some double bass on one of his tracks, and then I ended up just on bass duties for Eddie. So it's been fantastic.
Oh, great stuff. Yeah. So
I love it.
Yeah, it looks like you're going to stay together. But look, you've got an EP coming out now, haven't we? So yeah. With one of your songs on it, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, Edge of Time.
At your time, no? Okay. So, we heard Emily Breeze earlier.
Yeah.
Well, not Emily Breeze, it's Emily Sings, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, there's something about Emily Breeze. But that was on your last album, wasn't it? Blue and Hazy.
That was last year, yeah.
Yeah. So you're going to put that behind you a little now and sort of concentrate on this lineup?
Not really, because we've got a band version of that coming out on the new
Right.
EP that
Okay.
we've got out in the. But from that point of view, there's just lots of I've got lots of new tunes and lots of new songs. But really, we were
Okay.
going through
Yep.
the old catalogue and then putting a few new ones on as well. So. And I think the new songs are very rocky. I don't know where we'll go next because we have quite diverse tastes.
Sure.
So that'll be interesting to see where it leads,
Yeah,
really.
it will be interesting, actually.
Yeah.
We'll see. Okay, so you've started to pick up some gigs, haven't you?
We had a bit of a lean period, but the gigs that we've had have been good ones. We've got one coming up with old friends Alien Stash Tin, which have been going 20 years, which they deserve a medal for anyway.
Right, yeah.
But they're real characters and they've been real fans of a lot of the music, so it's great to be able to support them on that.
That's at Griffin, isn't it?
I've
Been there once, I have to say, so good luck. It's upstairs, I think.
I've been there as well, and it's you need the earplugs. It's a great place to go. Yeah.
Well, I know we actually played at Glastonbury Calling as well.
I did.
I unfortunately missed you there, but is there a podcast of that somewhere?
There's
that
not.
performance?
There's not really. We're on their album. We put a couple of tracks on the Glastonbury Calling album, but that was really our first gig. As usual, there's I'll not go into details, but all the problems that other people have had, we've been subject to them as well. So that's kind of slowed us
But it's
up
coming
a bit.
together now, anyway.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So, where can we find your music then?
Well, most of my music is on Bandcamp. It all goes on Bandcamp. And besides that, I'm on Facebook. I enjoy doing YouTube videos, which is probably another aspect of that came to light after not being able to play live. So there's stuff on there, Facebook. Always welcome followers and things on, which would be cool.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of singles on Spotify and everywhere else.
I noticed it's Reverb Nation. I went on there as well.
Yeah,
Reverb
yeah.
Nation.
I think the thing is about Spotify and iTunes and things like that. People seem to just listen to individual tracks anyway. So yeah.
Oh, it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's how things are developing now. I mean, TikTok was mentioned earlier, so you never know. If you could get a little bit on TikTok, perhaps.
Well, yeah. The thing is, because it's basically me doing it. I think recording, playing, rehearsing, doing new music, Facebook, and everything else. I don't know how much I can do from that point of view, and it's very much a labour of love. So, I think from my point of view, I judge success by being able to get played on the radio, maybe get some festival spots, some good gigs and things like that. So TikTok isn't something that I'm into really.
Okay. Well, the success is coming. You've had a few radio plays, including Summer Valley and Through FN from me.
That's right. Thank you very much.
Australia, California.
Oh yeah, University of California I thought was a cool one. One started in 1965, and I thought, wow, it was like. When you think of the music that was starting about then, that's and really all over the world, probably about 40 radio stations around the world.
How do you think they're picking you up, though, as a matter of interest?
Well, I'm lucky. I've got been able to get a guy to sort of push my music to them. So that's the way I've gone again through. Through not being able to play live and everything else, then I thought I had to do something different. Okay. So that's what I'm trying to do.
All right, well, before we go, I'd like to say, do you think radio still has a big future? It has been mentioned out there on the media itself that radio is coming back. What do you think?
Well, I think it's very difficult I'm finding it more and more difficult as somebody who goes out to listen to a lot of music as well, to find out new music and new bands that I like. So I think it certainly has, and even if it's cult shows and things like that, or local shows, some of the local radio's great. Some music I find a little bit, well, a lot overproduced. With where you can't hear much differences in volume before, and I'm not really interested in that sort of thing. I want to go out and hear people really giving it what they can and making good live music.
There's a lot of new music coming in, but I say people seem to have very busy lives. But it's something you can listen to anywhere. So I'll still promote radio myself, very much so.
Great,
good way of listening. Well, thanks guys for coming along. It was a great set. The centre of the Devizes will never be the same again now, will it? Well, not quite in the centre, but we're very near. Okay, well, what I can say now is, well, thank you to Phil and Mags in the recording studio, and thank you for listening to Soundcheck from Visual Radio Arts.